start of the Secret Soundbite series, I produced a few lessons about the diminished seventh chord. Over the next few lessons, I want to run a similar mini-series on its strange cousin, the half-diminished chord. In this lesson, we'll concentrate on showing you a nice simple shortcut that you can use to create half-diminished chords. You may remember that you can create a diminished seventh chord by taking a dominant seventh and simply sharpening its root like this. The chord D seventh, with the root note D taken up to D sharp, gives you D sharp diminished seventh. Similarly, A seventh, the A sharp to A sharp, gives you A sharp diminished seventh. And E seventh, with the E taken up to F, gives you F diminished seventh. And so on. Well, a great way to remember the simplest shapes for playing half-diminished chords is to apply exactly the same trick to major seventh chord shapes. So to play D major seventh, we just hold those three strings down across the top there. There's our root note, the open D string. If I sharpen that up to D sharp, I then get D sharp half diminished. Similarly, there's my A major seventh. First finger on the third string, first fret. The other two fingers either side of it at the second fret there. And similarly, if I sharpen that A up to A sharp, I get the shape for A sharp half diminished seventh. And finally, if I play an E major seventh, that's those two held down there, the middle two strings at the first fret, and then adding the B at the fret 2 on the fifth string there. If I sharpen the root from E to F and put those notes back in, I get F half diminished seventh. In the case of that last chord, the E string rooted shape, you get quite a muddy sounding result if you use just the bottom four strings. So if I play that as a movable shape to give you some idea. So I like to, instead of using the bottom four strings, I put my second finger there and then play the rest of the shape on these three strings, the second, third and fourth strings, like that. So I'm just picking those three strings, leaving out the fifth string altogether. And that's a slightly more balanced sort of sound, a bit less muddy. So let's have a quick look now at why this trick works. And again, the best way to explain it is to take a look at the relationship between the two chord formulas. The formula for the major seventh chord is simply 1, 3, 5, 7. And for the half diminished chord, it's 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7. When we lay these out next to each other, we can see that you can create a half diminished seventh chord by taking a major seventh and sliding all the top three notes a semitone closer to the root note. In this specific example, we've started with the chord C major seventh, made up of the notes C, E, G and B, and created C half diminished seventh by flatting the notes E, G and B. But here is another take on this. This time we've started with B major seventh, made up of the notes B, D sharp, F sharp and A sharp, and simply shifted the root note B up a semitone to give us a chord comprising the notes B sharp, D sharp, F sharp and A sharp, which, when changed into their enharmonic equivalents, can be seen as C, E flat, G flat, B flat, making up the chord C half diminished. So to explain that on the fretboard, here's our C major 7th chord using the movable A major 7th shape. And I could turn that to C half diminished 7th by shifting all three of these notes, that's the 5th of the chord, the 7th and the 3rd, all down a fret. Or I could achieve the same end result if I started with B major 7th and simply moved the one note, the root, up a fret. I've got a pretty lousy memory, so I find that tricks like this help me to find these chords, or help me to recreate them when needed. In the next lesson, we'll take a look at the important role played by the half-diminished chord, which, once understood, will enable you to use this chord in your own compositions, and also to predict its use in music that you're learning by ear or trying to transcribe. If you found this lesson interesting, please click on the like button if there is one, or leave a comment. And do feel free to share the video with your friends. And if you'd like to gain full access to all our guitar teaching materials, please visit the Secret Guitar Teacher site and take a free look round at what's available there. See you again soon.